And you have legislative, which is the city council, and then well, some cities have judges, but then you have a county that usually has a board of supervisors, which is the legislature. And I don't know if there's there should be an executive of the county. I haven't looked it up to see, but the county should have an executive. An executive is basically, usually, they work hand in hand with the legislature, to get problem solved for, the city, the county, or the state, or federal. But, on all of those levels, there is usually the three. It's legislative, executive, and judicial. Okay. And they made it like it's supposed to be like a balance of power, like the executive and the judicial. I mean, the executive, judicial, and the legislative, they're all on the same level. Right. And I guess, each set or each position makes laws, to solve problems, right? That's what they're supposed to do. And then they might have a disagreement between each other on how that problem should be solved. So they argue the point by using other cases in the past, or, they try to do something to set a new case that's never happened before, right? Like the Dred Scott decision was the first time that a slave making that case had already made it all the way to the Supreme Court. And then the Supreme Court's decision was a powerful decision. It said, hey, Constitution does not apply to a slave or a free person of color. It doesn't apply to them. Okay, but then 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments added to it, changed that position. From then on, it's just been a battle of knowledge and keeping that information from most Black people. The Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, for example. Most people think that the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, the original Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, most people think that was like some kind of Black militant organization, and that all they did was, come together and march with their guns and show off their guns and talk about killing white people or something like that. And the original Black Panther Party was farthest from that. Their whole objective was to get, at that time, Black power meant having political knowledge, not of, Democrats and Republicans, but how to use the laws to your advantage. That's what Black power was about. And to a lot of extent, there are, because we know we have the Orlando Castile situation, right? He was, told the officer that he had a permit to carry the firearm that he had, and the officer still shot him when he reached for his permit that the officer asked for, right? Some people would say that Castile's constitutional right was violated. But it was beyond his rights because he was killed. He was killed. And to me, him being killed had nothing to do with his constitutional rights and everything to do with fear. I truly believe that And fear is no justification for harming someone. Okay, it should be the opposite, right? You should be, especially if you're a so-called professional, if you are tasked with the responsibility of carrying a firearm in public. There should be a huge, what am I trying to say? An individual in that position should be tested for their courage, right? They shouldn't test. I mean, they shouldn't just not only just train enforcement officials how to kill and subdue people, they should also train them in, how train them in the way of dealing with people, being able to treat people the way they want to be treated. And I think a degree of that, like I said, requires some courage, because if you're afraid of somebody, any kind of emotion you have towards an individual, and you're carrying a firearm, if it's not being happy, right? If it's anger or fear, both of those could motivate you to kill someone when it's not even necessary. So I believe that was the motivation in that case. I don't think that the individual who shot him was saying, oh, he's got constitutional rights, or he doesn't have, or I'm going to show him that he doesn't have a constitutional right. I don't think that was even on the individual's mind when it happened. I don't know for sure. We're just speculating here. But what we got? What we got, Christine? What do we have to lose by trying absolutely nothing? I think it's worth a try. Yes. Excellent. I'm glad that you think so. All right, so I'm gonna try to, I'm gonna try to even it out and not be on like 8 hours, damn near 8 hours, like usual. But yeah, I'm gonna try to wrap it up at 9. I mean, like 9:15 or something like that. We'll see what happens. Okay, but if you're just coming in, I was basically looking at petitions. These are, go back to the top real quick. Race and slavery petitions. This is the Race and Slavery Petitions Project. And we're looking at petitions to kind of give us an idea of what things were like for non-white people before slavery ended. I mean, this one right here, 157 petitioners lamenting the deplorable, this right here, whoever this was a petition that was filed in 1835 on behalf, so most of this was starting to look like justice, but these people were somehow deceived into believing that reading scriptures needed to be included in that. And I'm just saying, to me, this part right here messes the rest of it up. This part right here, those 4 words just destroyed all the rest of this. It was looking, I was like, this is sounding real constructive. I mean, we know that it didn't have much of an impact, to last to this time, because, but 1835, 4 years after Nat Turner. Let's see. The guardians of the minor heirs of James J. Harrison asked to purchase land for their wards. They report that the estates of 13-year-old James S. Harrison and 11-year-old Keturah A. Harrison consist of some 35 Negroes, $7,000 in money, and but little land. So look at this. The estates of 13-year-old James S. Harrison and 11-year-old Keturah A. Harrison. So at 13 and 11, these white people inherited some 35 victims of white supremacy and $7,000 in money, but little land. Doesn't say they didn't have no land, just says little land. The petitioners purport that the monies vested in good lands at the present low prices would yield a far larger and safer interest than by lending the money out. They therefore pray a law be passed authorizing such investments and under such restrictions as in your wisdom you may direct. So they're praying and petitioning laws. That's what they're doing. Praying and petitioning laws. It's very, very, very interesting. I don't know. It just seems like one of those seeds, y'all. So let me get off of this and let's look at another one. Abandonment, overseers. Let's look at overseers. We're always hearing something about, let's see, Sluiter, Buchel represents that he was altogether ignorant of any law, whatever forbidding the bringing slaves in the state under any circumstances. Buchel admits that while administrating the estate of Thomas Witherspoon, he found it necessary to purchase some additional slaves whom he brought over about the time of his removal in the state from the state of Maryland, noting that Abraham, Edward, William, and Rainey have since instituted their actions for their freedom. The petitioner asserts that the slaves all came willingly into the service of your petitioner, and as he believes are still content to serve him, but as they have been instigated by some officious persons to apply for their freedoms. See this right here? Well, this probably means some other victims of racism let them know, you know, some white people even perhaps, let them know they're in Delaware and that in Delaware they can petition for their freedom. This is a way to solve problems. You know, they found a way. It looks like they found a way to solve problems, some of their problems, which was, you know, being slaves, and they made sure that this information got to these guys. You know, this guy, he's saying, look, let's look back at what he says again. He says he admits while administering the state, he found it necessary to purchase some additional slaves whom he bought, and it lists their names, right? But he says, since instituted their actions for their freedom, the petitioner asserts that the slaves all came willingly into the service. They all came willingly, right? And he believes they're still content to serve him, but as they have been instigated. Somebody made my niggers uppity. Somebody made my niggers uppity. They was fine, good niggers until somebody made them uppity. And I want the legislature to assist me in preventing the loss of my slaves, the loss of my niggers. Let's look at this other one. South Carolina resident William H. Taylor is the uncle and guardian of Thomas Francis. Let me see. Let's move. Let's take this and put this here. Take this and put this over here, like that. Hurting my neck a little bit here. Okay, so 4 minutes. Man, I hate to get off. Damn. What time is it? 9:15. I ain't got nothing else. I really don't. You know, I really don't. I ain't got nothing else to do right now at this moment. So, hey, I guess it's just going to be another long one. Oh, it's going to be another long one. Okay, well, at least let me take a break and ask that if you feel that this information I'm presenting to you is constructive, it's helpful to you, please like, share, subscribe, donate, down there at the link at the bottom. I got, help to support this counter-racist education. Send something to my Cash App. $SYNQ. You send something to my Cash App, I greatly appreciate it. $1, $5, $10, $20, $100. Just to to help me out. I've been on YouTube. I'm the most underrated YouTuber. I've been on YouTube since 2006. Very few people. I made talking about racism, white supremacy popular. Okay, by putting it on YouTube, by posting. Mr. Fuller is the first person to post something on YouTube with Mr. Fuller speaking. I'm the first person to get on YouTube to be talking about the code. I've been talking about the United Independent Compensatory Code System concept, textbook, workbook for thought, speech, and action by Mr. Neely Fuller, and the ISIS papers, keys to the colors by Dr. Francis Cress Welsing since 2006. Okay. I really am an underrated YouTuber. And back when we first got started, YouTube absolutely had no way of making money for us. They had no kind of way of making money for those of us who got on YouTube. And they told us, they did tell us, that they were going to find a way. And once they found the way, which is watch time, I need people to watch my videos, right? I figure it's a long video. If you watch it, you take the time, you can even just, play it on your phone and step away from your phone, or you could play it on your car phone and listen, as you drive, in the distance, wherever it is that you're going, if you got a long distance to go. And then, the best thing about it is you can put it on pause, right? And come back and check it out later. But, my objective is to try to present a different perspective. I'm trying to get people, Black people, non-white people in particular, to find these possible seeds, right? They're called the seeds of destruction, right? And Mr. Fuller made a quote: the seeds of the destruction to the system are somewhere within the system itself, right? And I agree with that. It has to be, right? When you think about a system, like the way let's take a computer system, for example, right? A computer system, your computer is composed of many different components that make it. Mainly it's hardware, right? And software. You know, the software is the app. You know, whatever app that you have, you know, even on your phone is a computer now. But whatever app that you have on your phone that you use to do whatever it is that you need that app to do, whatever it is that the app tells you that it does, and you use that app. You know, if there's a calendar on your phone, you know, that's an app, right? That has made your, you know, that has helped you solve your problem of scheduling your days on the calendar, right? And the hardware is the outer side of the phone, the casing, you know, the little screen that's on there and the buttons, all of that stuff is a part of the hardware, right? All of these components that structure your phone or your computer, right, come together to make a system. They operate together to, you know, make a computer be what a computer is, right? Well, when you hear of a computer virus, right, that virus usually starts from somewhere inside the computer. It gets in there whenever it gets in there and goes wherever it's programmed to go to take advantage of something that's already in the computer. Usually the way they operate, they say like, you know, there's some type of vulnerability, they call it. So the seeds are the vulnerabilities, right? So we look at, I want to present the seeds to help us find the vulnerabilities that could eventually lead to the establishment of justice. Justice meaning balance between all people. You know, you some racist suspects will have you believe through, you know, using misinformation, you know, basically using deception. They will have you believe that when a black person, or especially a black male, says justice, one who you know, presents himself the way I do, they would have you believe that when I say justice, that means revenge, right? And it does not, right? Justice, I mean justice meaning balance between people, right? You have huge numbers of racist suspects who claim that if black people take power, or even the black people who are in power, so-called power now, right? Like a mayor or a chief who are not really in power at all. They're just put there. They're selected to be there. That's a whole nother story. They'll have you believe that these people are taking, they're committing a form of reversed racism. You know, this term that a lot of racist suspects use to try to make you believe that you know, black people want to do the same thing to white people that white people did to them. Kind of, you know, BS. But the way I see justice is there's 5 people in a room, right? Black person, a brown person, a red person, a yellow person, and a white person. And, you know, there's a bucket of water, right? You know, well, that water, that bucket of water gets split 5 ways, right? You understand what I'm saying? What does that look like? What does that look like? Maybe some of you may need to see that. I know how y'all like to see interaction and all that kind of stuff. So let's see if I can do it. I think all my glasses are good. Bust. Yeah, this will work. Hey, you know, like I said, what else we got to do tonight, right? You know, I could be playing a video game or something. You know what I'm saying? But no, I want to do this tonight. What we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so let's see. Move that from there. So we got, so this supposed to be justice, right? You know. Now don't be tripping. Don't be trying to trick your mind into believing that these are white people right here, okay? Because no white person has skin the color of white cup, okay? So you just gotta pretend, right? Black, brown, red, yellow. Oh, well, this white cup, I guess. This is white. I get well here. Let's do it this way. We don't want you to be confused. Okay? Black, brown, red, yellow, white. Oh wait, some of y'all gonna say this is clear. I know some of y'all be calling them clear people, but that don't make sense either. But you get it, right? Or you get it. Okay. So now this is justice. This is justice right here. It's 500 milliliters of water. Okay. Now they say the metric system is a better way of measuring things to make sure that people get things even, right? So this is justice, right? Each person, each cup represents a person, black, brown, red, yellow, and white. Justice means that each one gets 100 milliliters of water, right? So we're going to pour that in there. Now, I want to make sure, see, because when it comes to justice, we want to make sure that everybody gets what they're entitled to, right? Now, the way this form of justice works is you help the people, the person who needs the most help, get the most constructive help they need, right?